Welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about saving our seas, cutting down on plastic and all of that. You've probably seen it in the news before, the absolutely horrific amount of plastic that ends up in our seas and oceans. It's just disgusting really, and you know, when we were out in Sri Lanka on holiday, we noticed it firsthand, me and my partner. Loads of plastic was just washing up on the beach each morning, and these workers would go down putting it into piles and putting it into these bags to try and clear it. But obviously that is a tiny section of the big problem that we've got in this world with the plastic. Like, obviously they're doing their part, and that's absolutely brilliant, and I commend them for that. But unless everyone starts to do their part, it's really going to do very little, given the beach, obviously, where they are is not very big compared to all the beaches around the world and how big and vast the ocean really is. Some of you may have seen Blue Planet 2 before, and the plastic episode, and Sir David Attenborough said in that episode 8 million tons of plastic is dumped in the water every single year, and that's just astounding. 8 million tons. I can't even begin to get my head around a figure like that, and it's so upsetting to think that you know, some of this could be avoided. You don't need to keep buying water bottles, for example. Obviously in the intro I had 2 water bottles. Those are the water bottles I keep using day in, day out. I don't buy more each day. Those are the 2 I use, so I haven't bought like a reusable one because I just keep using those and they're lasting for me. But it's things like when you go to the supermarket, certainly in the UK, and you're getting your vegetables, if you're buying them like individually, you get a plastic bag. We don't need a plastic bag. Give us a paper bag. They're gonna hold. Like, when you get it delivered, they come in paper bags. I don't know why that we're not doing that in our supermarkets. There are things like nappies. They come in, as you saw, in this just big plastic coating. It's not needed. You could put it probably in some decent paper coating and it's gonna hold. I think there are solutions to all of these things. I don't have all the solutions here. You know, obviously I'm not an expert on it all, but I do genuinely believe there are the solutions out there, and obviously with things like water bottles and things like that, it's a simple one. Just buy one, keep using it. You're saving yourself money anyway by not going to a shop every day and buying a bottle of water. But more importantly than that, you're saving the planet. And that is so important, because actually these animals were here before us, and the chances are they're going to be here after us. Obviously I'm not an expert again. I don't know how the world's going to end, if it's going to end or when it's going to end. We've come along and slowly we are destroying their homes, and just for our benefit. And I've never really understood why, and I've never quite been able to sort of work out how we feel that we're in some way better than those animals and that wildlife that is in this world, and certainly in our seas and oceans. And I struggle to understand how this plastic even ends up in there. Like, I certainly don't ever purposely go out and dump plastic into the water, so I don't understand how or why it happens. But the amount of plastic we use, it's almost disturbing. It's just so frustrating, because there's almost nothing you can do about it either. I think we just live and breathe plastic virtually. It's everywhere. Like, I would love to be able to do it and go into a supermarket one day and just do a plastic-free shop, but I think you would struggle a lot. I mean, I'm trying to think of bread, for example. It all comes in plastic as far as I know. So I have sandwiches for lunch. I'm not keen on other things, but if you buy pasta, it's in a plastic packet. Everything's plastic. It's just we've grown accustomed to plastic so quickly because it hasn't been around for forever, and we've just used it for everything. And don't get me wrong, plastic is useful, but we need to cut down. We have to cut down. We have to start looking at what we're doing, because these animals, you know, they're dying in this because of us, and who are we to be killing them and killing this beautiful wildlife and everything for our own benefit and just dumping it in their home? Like, I guess perhaps if someone's watching this and you actually are someone that purposely is dumping stuff in the ocean, how would you feel if someone was doing that to you? I know I certainly would not be best pleased if I came home one day in my house, in my lounge for example, and there was just tons of plastic in here. I'd be like, firstly, who has done this, but also, you know, I'm going to struggle to live now, I'm going to struggle to breathe now because of all this plastic in here. I imagine it's the same for the animals, but they don't have a choice. They have no choice in the fact that all this crap basically is just getting dumped straight into what is effectively their homes. They can't move out because the whole ocean is full of the stuff. So, you know, as a world, as a country, as subscribers, you know, whatever, if you're a viewer of this, whatever, however you're seeing this, as I said before, I will always try and encourage people to do better through my YouTube channel. And I understand perhaps some people don't enjoy these videos as much because they're not like the funny, those sort of videos. But I think it's important, certainly for me, to use, the fact that I do YouTube to make these sort of videos and to talk about causes that mean a lot to me. And certainly since I've been to Sri Lanka, I've realised quite, how bad the problem is. I suppose it's one thing hearing it in the news and reading it, and then actually seeing it firsthand. It shocked me. Like, I didn't quite believe it was that bad, but on this small beach, there was just that much plastic, and it made me quite sad, really. But I just thought about all the animals that are affected by this and all the wildlife that's affected by this, and we just go on about living our daily lives like it doesn't matter. Like, people are just dumping it and using it constantly, in some cases for no good reason, and it's really just sort of difficult to look at and think about. And unfortunately, there's only so much I can do. Obviously, I can do my part. If I do go to the supermarket again, I usually do online now, but if I do go again, I'm not going to be using the plastic bags for the vegetables. I'm just not. I just won't do that. I'll just put them all individually and label them, because it's another plastic bag. What am I going to be doing with that? It's just going to go in the bin, and then it's going to end up somewhere else. It's either going to end up in landfill or it's going to end up in the ocean somehow, and I don't want that. So wherever you can, please try and just cut down on plastic, reuse bottles, because again, you're going to save yourself money anyway, but you're also going to help save the planet. It goes to coffee cups as well. Get a reusable one. I don't really drink hot chocolates and coffees out much at all, but I do need to invest in one for this coming winter, because as a British person, it's very cold here, and then there's going to be people from Canada and things that go, well, it's not cold at all. But for us, it's cold. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video as much as you can obviously enjoy a video like this. I do try to keep them as entertaining as possible. It just baffles me sometimes the amount of plastic we use, like on things like this, for example, which is a coat hanger. It doesn't need to be in a plastic bag. Absolutely does not need to be in a plastic bag. I have no idea why it is. It's really depressing that it is, and there's virtually nothing you can do about that. But in the cases where you can do something, reusable bottles, reusable coffee cups, things like that, please make sure you do it. It's a good investment, and actually a lot of coffee companies nowadays are giving you money back and things like that. And obviously, as I said before, reusing water bottles, you're saving yourself money anyway. But if you are new around here, please subscribe, please like, comment down below, do your best for the world, and other than that, I'll see you guys next time.